3 o'clock having arrived, let's call to order the engineering committee meeting. And roll call. Very good. Do we have any public notices, comments?
No public notices or comments were received.
Very good. Then we'll move right into the items. Item number 1, development of the project status biannual update.
So these items will be handled all by engineering, so Jason is gonna take this one, and then he'll hand it off to other staff members for subsequent items.
Okay.
Yeah, so, we should. So normally this presentation is given by our Development Services Senior Engineer. However, she's on a well-deserved vacation, so I'm filling in. So the last update you had on development was August of 2022. So I just wanted to give you an update. So in the calendar year 22, we sold about 151 sewer EDUs for 2.3 million and about 422 water EDUs for 3.9 million. So that's where we ended up calendar year 2022. The exhibit you have, and I'm just looking for the, it just left me.
Go back to where's this development projects, next one over.
I'm trying to find the Zoom, but I can't find it. Okay, that's what I was looking for. I don't know if you can see this. It gets a little bit, it's a large exhibit, but I wanted to point out, as you know, the items in green are in construction, the items in pink are in plan checking, and the items in blue are in the planning phase. So as far as the construction projects that we have on our list, since we reported to you last time in August, we've got an increase from 30 to 31. Only a 3% increase doesn't seem a lot, but that's actually because 6 projects that were in construction got accepted by the board, and we've got 7 new projects on, obviously moving from plan checking onto the construction phase. So it's actually continues to be a very busy development cycle. As far as plan checking, we're up about 92% currently. So we've got a lot of projects that have moved from the planning, the water and sewer study phase into plan checking and so on. So actually we're seeing a little bit of a drop in the water sewer studies, but again, that's because they moved into plan checking. So a couple of the big projects I just wanted to point out that will be coming to the full board in the next couple of months will be the Palisades Phase 1. So that's up in the north, and that's the first phase has 19 units, and then that will be followed probably a couple months lagging behind by Phase 2, and that has about 17 units.
And just to add, the committee members may remember, this is the project that, since it's in the county, went into an escrow agreement with the board, and then they tried to extend the escrow, and the board and the committee's final decision was give them an extension, but with a finite date, you use it or lose it, and that's what we did.
Yeah, some other items that will be coming to the full board soon also will be for the High Point project, which I know you're very well aware of. We've got an annexation that's coming March 15th? I think March 15th. So they've paid their fees. It's all good. We just need to bring it to the board for approval for the resolution. And then the component that we're actively working on, it's in plan checking. You can see it. It's the little island of pink is their pump station. So we actually, staff had a meeting with the City of Escondido last week to kind of resolve some of the issues they're having with getting temporary water on the site so they can drop lumber and go. They've got some things that they need to provide to make the fire department happy. We're letting them work that out. And then on our end, of course, we're reviewing the plan set. I know the developer's hoping to get it, I think, on the March 15th board meeting packet, but we still have comments to address, and I think it's going to happen in April. So we are working very hard to get that through, but it's a complicated project. And then, of course, to provide them temporary water, they'll need a temporary pump station. We're kind of working through the details, and there's going to be a lot of conditions that we're going to require, and they're aware of that. We've been having a lot of conversations with them. So that's another project that's taking a lot of staff time. So with that, I can answer any questions specifically you have. I asked Ms. Kuntz to come up here in case we get into any details, but the punchline is development is going very strong, and has been actually, as you may be aware, for the last probably 4 or 5 years, based on the metrics that we have.
Jason, you want to scroll over just to the list of the construction and yeah, those two. Those are the main active jobs. Obviously, the third table is jobs that are just in planning, and those obviously have a less likelihood of becoming real jobs. Also, you can see on that table, I think at the bottom, that's anticipated additional both water and sewer cap fees. Is that the number on the bottom, both for construction and?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and
So-
those are current.
So I know that's what the committee's looked at in the past to see the future. Obviously, stuff in construction is more certain. Stuff in, design and plan check is fairly certain. And stuff in planning could be pie in the sky, who knows?
Yeah, and probably the biggest change is that you'll see that Newland Sierra is off the list. So those total EDUs, that capacity has come off of our totals now.
Did I see something where it's being sold to
Yes, actually, we met with the lawyers.
Golden Door?
Yeah, the Golden Door has officially purchased the Newland Sierra site. So that means unless the Golden Door decides they want to develop it, it is not going to be developed.
The whole property.
Yes.
How many acres?
I forget how many acres. I used to know. It was like 1,900.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And I don't know if they develop everything or they develop everything on this side of the ridge line. So,
Yeah, so that's a substantial change in the projected EDUs. So
Yeah.
that capacity has all gone away.
Well, that'll solve any complaint they have. When in
Agreed.
doubt, just buy them out.
It's one way to do it.
Yeah.
my understanding it was a mutually beneficial negotiation that
I
came
bet
into
it
it.
was.
So,
A couple of big billionaire companies discussing what to do.
yep.
All right, that's all I have for you, gentlemen. Good
Very
enough?
good.
Okay.
Anything else?
Not on this item.
All right, then let's move on to item number 2, fiscal year 22-23, capital improvement program.
So Capital Facility Senior Engineer Ryan Morgan will be leading this.
Okay. President Hernandez, Director of Health Arts, pleasure to be here with you today. I'm going to present the Q2 CIP update, and Engineer Lito Santos is going to present on items 3 and 4, which he manages, the Sage Canyon tank refurbishment and the sewer lining rehabilitation 2021 projects. As for the fiscal year 22-23 CIP Q2 update, I'm going to provide this update through our website, actually. And just bear with me one moment, sorry. Where'd Zoom go? Oh, sorry, here it is.
It's that second box. Not that one, the other one.
I can't find it. I'm trying to switch share.
Oh, yeah, you got right there. There you go.
Oh, it's over here.
Too many
All right, sorry about that. I feel like this always trips me up. Okay. Am I sharing?
Just hit the share on the side. Good to go.
Okay. From the district's website at the home screen, if you go to departments and engineering, you'll come to this screen here, and you go to capital facilities, COG, and you go to capital facilities updates, capital improvement projects, active capital improvement projects, it'll take you to a little interactive map showing thumbnails across our district of our different active sites for our projects. Just for sake of convenience, if you click on this link up here, it'll take you to a list format. And a couple projects I'm going to highlight right off the bat are the 16-inch emergency bypass pipeline rehabilitation project. The Board of Directors has seen this project just recently come for contract award. And two outstanding issues at the end of Q2 were to issue the notice to proceed and begin construction, and we can report that both of those items have happened, and we're actually out there in the field in our easements digging today and installing new manholes and about to perform some tie-in connections, which is great news. Another project highlight I'd like to make you aware of is the fail-safe rehabilitation Buena Reach. This project is moving along quickly. It is in final design. We're basically just working with the city of Carlsbad to perform some final environmental biological mapping that's come about through their planning department. And we're nearing the end of that task. We'll be able to resubmit 100% design plans to the city within the next couple weeks, and then we really expect to have the green light to enter into bid phase. The project will be advertised for bid in March, and with bid opening probably April or May.
It's Ryan, is the light blue, is that relocated? Or is that the new one?
Yes, this is the outfall. That's correct. The fail-safe line is the line identified in red,
Oh, gotcha, so the light blue is the outfall.
and the outfall somewhat parallels the corridor, and then it separates at Palomar Airport Road, and they kind of come back together again in Palomar Airport Road. And then lastly, for Montiel Lift Station update, I'm going to now switch back to my PowerPoint. This is the last update I want to give you, but it's we have a major update to provide, so we wanted to share that with you. And the Montiel Lift Station is a large project. It's not just a lift station replacement. It is also a gravity influent rehabilitation and replacement. And it's also a force main replacement project following the red line. Force main replacement and extension following the dashed red line. For a total of 1,800 feet of replacement force main, and then an additional over about 2,300 feet of new force main. We'll be rehabbing approximately 1,300 feet of 10-inch gravity, and then of course replacing the Montiel Lift Station entirely. Oh, I don't mean to be here.
Yeah, go back and share the other one. Just right there on the second screen.
Okay. So the Montiel Lift Station is a small underground facility. You can see it right off the SR 78, just next to the Coles Fine Flooring Building, east of Nordall Road. It collects and conveys wastewater from approximately 200-acre sewer basin on the far eastern service area boundary. It's adjacent to the city of Escondido. This lift station was originally constructed in 1985. It was only intended to be a temporary facility to last approximately 5 years.
What's the plan back then to flows to go to Escondido?
That's correct. This project's been budgeted for a very long time, since the early 2000s, and the original investigation was to provide an outfall into the city of Escondido system and convey the flows to Harf. But that did not pan out, and AGM Gumpel can speak more to that.
Yeah, the Escondido system itself is undersized, so they would have to upgrade almost every single stick of pipe between where we connect all the way to Harf, and As you know, the HARF is where they, that's their main sewer treatment facility, so the pipes get fairly large. So you're talking about upgrading 30-inch pipe to 33-inch pipe, 40-inch pipe to 42-inch pipe, just to get our flow in, because they're over capacity, not on all the pipes, but the majority of the segments. So it would be tens of millions of dollars. I mean, don't quote me on that number, but it would be an expensive project.
For the lift station improvements, you see a snapshot here of our proposed plan. The existing two 100 gallons per minute pumps are under capacity for future build-out and ultimate flows. We plan to replace that with two 300 gallon per minute pumps, increase wet well volume, which will essentially quadruple our detention time in the wet well, and then all new electrical instrumentation and controls, a new standby generator, and optimized site layout for operations will be provided as part of this design. For the gravity influent sewer rehabilitation, there's over 1,300 feet of 10-inch diameter ductile iron pipe. You can see it on the right. It's heavily corroded and several operational defects with grease buildup. And our attempt is to rehabilitate this line. And if it's not possible to rehabilitate, we have an alternate bid item to remove and replace this line. For the force main improvements identified by the line in red, we're going to carry on past our existing 1,800 feet of 6-inch diameter force main that is in Montiel Road today. We're going to leave behind a 2-inch grind and overlay on Montiel Road just to make the residents happy in the area, to leave behind a better product than we found. And then the extension of the force main will travel through the Nordall Marketplace and end adjacent to Costco in our existing easement. This adds a big benefit by extending 1,200 feet of the new 6-inch diameter through Nordall Marketplace. We're actually, it's acting as a relief sewer to the existing gravity sewers that flow through Nordall today, and it eliminates a future CIP for the district that would require those gravity sewers to be upsized at some point in time in the future. Just a snapshot of where we're at today. The design was awarded to Michael Baker for the lift station and force main replacement on November 6, 2019. And we held a pre-bid meeting on February 9th of this year. And we plan to open bids on March 16th, 2023. So very long time coming with the study of the original outfall and turning that into the lift station and force main replacement. Several years coming, so we consider this a milestone project, and we anticipate construction award will come before the board on April 5th of this year. Engineer's estimate is currently $6 million, and that could be a little on the low side, but we're curious to see how the bids do come in March. We have some big name construction companies that are interested in this project, so that's promising.
How many showed up for the pre-bid?
We have a total of 7 primes that showed up for the
Should get a
mandatory
good
meeting.
price.
So, yep, keep our fingers crossed. Oh, and that concludes item number 2. If there are any questions, I can take that.
Yeah, could you go back, is there a bigger map of the sewer shed for the?
There is. It's not in my presentation,
Okay.
but I can provide the sewer shed to you.
I was just curious, on the other side of the hill, I think it's along Rock Springs, is that in the sewer shed or is it drained at Rock Springs Road?
There's and Jason, you may know off the top if you don't, Ryan, there's a line where the sewer goes to the west and comes into what I call the eastern portion of our San Marcos interceptor system. So I don't know where that is exactly, but there's a hill, it cuts on both sides.
Yeah, the north side of that hill, there's a property became a huge storage yard. I don't know if you've noticed. It looks like SDG&E or somebody is using that for storage.
No, I'm not aware of it.
It's a huge lot. I was just curious if that was in the sewer shed.
On Montiel Road or north of that you're
Rock
talking?
Springs.
It's actually off of Rock Springs, but it's
Oh,
kind
okay.
of the north side of the hill from Montiel.
Yeah. So we do have sewer, and then Escondido has sewer, depending on where you are, that sewers east into their system. and around. So it,
In Rock Springs Road.
well, I don't know if they connect to Rock Springs, but that Escondido part is good. We serve a portion of Escondido in that area.
Yeah,
And then there's a definite line where our sewer flows west and their sewer flows east.
okay.
What I can do is I can show a figure, I think screen sharing stopped. I can show a figure very similar to the overall map, this one here.
Yeah,
We can zoom out on this and show the sewer basin. And,
yeah,
and
that
give
might
you-
be helpful.
Yeah, we can do that for you.
And Ryan, if you mind, just go ahead and email Glenn and I and Anthony, and we can forward that on as a PDF for you to view to
Okay.
the committee members.
All right,
Okay,
thanks.
we'll do. Any other questions on Montiel or the update in CIP in general?
No?
Okay, great. We will move, well, I'll let you guys
Yeah,
MC
move
the,
on to number 3, project update, Sage Canyon.
let me start from here. You want me to drive? I'll drive.
Yeah, I can do that. There you go. Afternoon, directors. I'll be presenting the 2021 sewer line rehab first. Operations identified 44 segments or manholes and manhole sections covering over 8,570 linear feet of sewer line deficiencies in our system back in 2021. The 2021 sewer line rehab will be rehabilitating those deficiencies. Sorry, a little technical difficulties.
You were fine, go back. Yeah, you just got to hit that. I'll show you.
There you go. That's,
Hit the Windows button on the bottom. And you click on there.
Sorry, Leo.
oh, no worries. All right, so again, we have 44 segments, about 8,570 feet of sewer line deficiencies. In the next slide, that's not coming up. Oh. These are examples of the deficiencies. We've got clay pipe with roots growing in because it's organic. We've got fractured pipe with calcifications. We have actual pipe, broken pipe. We've got ductile iron pipe that's corroded. In the next slide, touch that. Okay, in the next slide, basically we clean out the pipe, we hone it out, we get rid of the classifications, any root balls or anything like that, and basically the pipe is all cleaned, and then we line it through. This will solve any of the deficiencies, stop groundwater infiltration, reduce flows and blockages, so on and so forth. The project was awarded back on April 6, 2022. Notice to proceed was July 27, 2023. Mobilization didn't happen until November 2022. The work alone, though, was completed in only 6 weeks. Project had some slowdowns with the city, with permitting. They have their own staffing shortages as well. We also had material shortages with the liner and just labor shortages this year. That was a continual theme, as you're going to see in both this project and sewer lining and sewer lining Sage Canyon. Budgeted, we have $805,000. Contract amount, we received 4 bids, or 6, sorry. Let me go back, let me make sure. We had 6 contractors and awarded it for $634,086. Staff time was $128,147. Staff self-performed design, construction management, inspection services. We are anticipating a budget surplus of close to $43,000. In the last 4 years of managing these projects, we've completed over 20,000 linear feet of sewer lining and rehab.
The budget total for the two large projects is about $1,725,000, about $84 a linear foot. In comparison to open trench replacement at $500 a linear foot, we saved the ratepayers close to $8.5 million. We anticipate doing a project acceptance mid-March or on 3/15.
Perfect.
Any questions?
Well, that was excellent.
Thank you. On to the next project. Oh,
That takes us to the end of item 3.
Yes, all right, item number 4, sewer lining and rehabilitation.
all right.
We actually switched them, but, yeah,
Oh,
so.
Okay.
We're actually on 3.
now we're doing tank rehabilitation.
Oops, sorry.
Next project is Sage Canyon Tank. Sage Canyon Tank was constructed in the year 2000 up in Santa Leo Hills off Stephanie Court. It's 3.67 million gallons. It's somewhat our medium, large sized tanks. Back in 2018, it was identified as having some deficiencies with the exterior paint, some of the interior delamination. So in 2021, we commenced design and completed design November 2021. A full interior and exterior rehabilitation was required. I have an example on the top left corner there of some of the rehabilitation that was needed. The exterior was, this lime green, and you could see some of the example of the rafters that were starting to really show some corrosion from air, oxygen, chlorine, and just, it's unbelievable environment for corrosion eventually. Anyhow, beginning in, let's see, so we needed to do some blasting, sheet metal repair, rafter replacements, beam grinding, plating. We received 4 bids. Bid came in at $1.4 million, January of last year. NTP was March 14th, 2022. Interior structure, there we go. Yeah, let's see. We replaced over 48 rafters. Luckily, the bigger girders did not need to be replaced as we anticipated. We saved some costs there. Let's see. So, project was complete. Well, now we'll stay there because so let's see. Project was originally estimated to be completed in 120 days. Unfortunately, with all the sheet metal work that wasn't completed till August, the project had to be extended up to 190 days. So well double the time that was originally estimated. We honestly had a lot of issues with structural retrofitting, weather, material delays, labor shortage. Even with the 190 days, we were fortunate enough to collect liquidated damages from the contractor in the amount of $29,000. Overall, contract was $1.4 million. Change orders was negative $32,000, mostly contributed to liquidated damages. Staff's time overall with design and construction was $149,000. Our consultant fees were about $120,000. Project cost was $1.67 million. Overall, we should get a budget surplus of $65,000. Project acceptance, again, is scheduled 3/15. We're hoping for your support on this project and the acceptance.
No?
So, staff is looking for committee support to go to the board on the acceptance of this project, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Very good.
I don't know, this budget surplus looks like poor planning to me.
They won't all
That
be
was
that way.
close.
That's an excellent point, but the percentage is within the error, margin of error.
I mean, considering the delay on the project, we were pleasantly surprised at what happened.
What's the coating technology these days? Is it still epoxy enamel?
Epoxy.
Yeah, although, are we, I know for a while we're trying a zinc-based primer above the water line. I don't know if that's, or was that
No.
outlawed by the?
It's mostly just epoxy at this
So,
point, so
100% solids.
Are they lasting longer, coatings, or?
we'll see. Well, this one, so it was in construction 2000, and then we needed to do the full rehab 20 years later, so,
It's not too bad.
no. It beats replacing the whole tank. I mean, that's, I think the estimate was about $4.5–5 million to replace the whole tank, and that's not gonna guarantee any longer than a paint
Yes,
job,
pretty much brings it back to new.
pretty much.
That concludes items 2 through 4. If there's any questions, we'll move on.
No.
All right.
All right, item
Thank
number 5, emergency repair.
So Eric Bennett's taking this one? You taking this
Yeah,
one?
I got
Okay, Eric Bennett, our asset management supervisor, will be taking this item.
Yeah, which one is it? This one, there we go.
You wanna, is it a PDF if it's a?
It's a Word doc.
Yeah. Okay,
Some really good pictures.
yeah. Okay, good afternoon, Engineering Equipment Committee. I'm here to discuss a recent emergency repair we had in the Fiesta neighborhood on Broken Rock Road. On the evening of January 10th this year, district staff responded to a reported water leak at the intersection of Rancho Santa Fe Road and Broken Rock Road. Upon arriving, district staff began securing a site and investigating the leak. It was determined that it was a water main leak on an 8-inch asbestos cement pipe, or ACP. At this point, additional staff were called, the leaking section was shut down, traffic control set up, and the crew began to attempt repairs. However, due to safety concerns regarding poor weather conditions, multiple utility crossings, and the fact that 0 customers were impacted by isolating the section of pipe, our crews were pulled off the job. And if you remember back in the middle of January, the big rainstorms that we had, this occurred right in the middle of one and right before the next one, so it was kind of a mess for a while. So the next morning, it was decided to call an outside contracting firm, Cass Arietta, due to the traffic impact, weather concerns, adjacent utilities in the excavation. Cass Arietta was selected due to their previous performance and history of the district. They are a reliable contractor that we have basically on our on-call list. They're the top. You call them, they answer, and they come. Reliable firm. So during Cass Arietta's investigation, the leak was found to be on a 45-degree bend on a cement mortar lined and coated steel pipe, or CMLC, section that was not noted on the district's maps or as-builts. We believe this section was added due to the multiple utility crossings that go over that pipe, and also there's a large reinforced concrete storm drain that crosses right above that pipe as well. Excuse me. And also during the investigation, Cass discovered an additional sections of CMLC and with visible corrosions. It was at this point that district staff directed Cass to replace the entire CMLC section that started at one end of AC pipe, dipped under, and came back and connected to another section of AC pipe. So during their work, Cass Arietta replaced the entire section of CMLC pipe with restrained C900 PVC. They installed corrosion protection, which includes grease coatings, wax tape, and a visqueen wrap. They installed concrete thrust blocks, backfilled, compacted the excavation, and performed extensive street rehabilitation. Throughout many of the aspects of the job, district staff performed various duties such as assisting with vacuum excavation, that was our Vector crew, coordinating with the city of San Marcos for traffic impact, since this did impact traffic on Rancho Santa Fe Road for a few weeks, performed inspection services and provided support and guidance as needed.
The job is now complete. However, final expensive has not been determined, but will be presented to the board at a future meeting. So I'm going to call attention to some of the pictures here to highlight some aspects of the repair. This first picture here is just an example of some of the road damage that was done on Rancho Santa Fe Road. And that is not where the actual break was. That's just down the street. Oh, I thought you were going to say something. Excuse me, I have an allergy attack all of a sudden. And then so this next picture here is just a picture of the excavation, just kind of put it all in perspective where it was. And then going down, you can see the excavation. So this one right here, this is the CMLC pipe going under the utilities and the large RCP storm drain. And this is the actual section right here that was blown out during the leak. And the next picture there is a nice photograph of, you can see the blown out joint, the
It's
weld
just a
joint.
small hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hole corresponds to the extensive pavement repair.
Yeah.
What's the system pressure normally?
Oh,
I don't know, it's a part of our 920 or 855, it's probably on the
Yeah, I think
920.
it's on the 920s system.
So I don't know the elevation there.
Yeah,
so-
not super high pressure.
Okay, and then moving down here, here's just another picture of all the CMLC that was removed, and showing another angle of that hole. And then next to that, you will see the picture of the C900 PVC pipe that was installed with the Visclean wrap and the corrosion protection over all of the exposed restraining glands. Okay. And as mentioned in the little statement here, district staff helped with excavation of the project or of the job with their Vector truck. And like I said, that since it was sandwiched in between the two rain events, the hole got muddy and cave-ins, and they were combating that the whole time. So the Vector truck and the Vector crew, district staff really helped out there. And then lastly, we just have a picture of an example of the extent of the pavement repair.
Just to add for the committee's sake, as you're aware, this item on emergency repairs, these are going to be well in excess of the $50,000 allowed by the general manager to authorize. But during emergencies, it's allowed for the general manager to proceed. And as soon as staff has the final numbers, we need to bring it back to the next available board meeting. So this will come back to you as an after action to the full board for basically authorizing the repair that's already happened under emergency.
Right.
Great. So that is what I have on that one. So are there any questions regarding this one?
No, good job.
Okay, great, thank you. Next one.
So the last item, Director Hernandez, I believe, is the asset management plan project update.
Yes.
And I believe the same team will be taking that item.
Oh, you have to hit share.
You have to start your slideshow first.
Yeah.
Then share.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, or else you see that.
Ah,
So stop sharing, start sharing.
yeah. Start slideshow.
And then hit the Windows, right there, have it for
Am I?
Zoom on the bottom.
Oh, right here. This one?
Yep.
Okay. And then share screen. Is it
No, no,
this one, right?
Nope.
This one.
Yep. We're a little rusty.
Yeah. Excuse us.
No worries.
We'll get there. Okay, so moving on to asset management plan update. So now that we've discussed the emergency repair on Broken Rock and Rancho Santa Fe, this next part is going to be a brief update on the asset management plan's progress. There's a lot of P's there. So first, we will review how creating an asset management plan is, just this. Okay. How creating an asset management plan aligns with the district's strategic plan, focusing on infrastructure integrity. Sections 1.1, asset management, and 1.2, replacement schedule, basically call for the district to utilize all of its systems and knowledge to gain better understandings of our maintenance practices and help identify renewal and rehabilitation needs and how best to allocate that funding. Okay, and I'm sure you all remember this from my original presentation. These are the tasks that our consultant are going through with us, and now we'll see what we've done, where we're at, and moving forward. Okay. So, until recently, most of the project would have been considered part of the data collection phase. This includes meetings between district staff and our consultants, Black and Veatch, and a review of the data provided by the district. The tasks associated with this period are tasks 2, levels of service, task 3, asset registry, and task 4, asset condition and remaining useful life. So the first task we did was task 2, levels of service. Our consultant reviewed data and led meetings with our operations staff to determine how we maintain our system in an effort to understand our goals and how we track our progress. This will then be benchmarked against industry standards to see where we're at and where we can improve. This task is still in progress, with the end output being a levels of service guidance technical memorandum. So next was task 3. So task 3 is asset registry and asset fact sheet, right there. Our consultant reviewed the district's complete asset lists and hierarchies, from buildings to vehicles to pipes, valves, everything, to determine if there is room for improvement or adjustments. This task is still in progress, with the output of the task being an asset summary report and the asset fact sheets. And the asset fact sheets, those are going to include asset profiles, maintenance plans, condition assessment information, renewal and replacement highlights, and also cost information. And currently, our current task is task 4, where we're making progress right now. Our consultant has been reviewing data and conducting interviews to help us determine the condition of our assets and how long we can expect them to be reliable operation. We are currently in the middle of this task, with the interviews being held tomorrow, March 1st. So the result of this task will be a condition assessment strategy that will be detailed in the final asset management plan. The strategy will include condition assessment reporting standards and recommended schedules for recurring assessments. Another element of this task is a roadmap for obtaining the condition assessment data that we will use to further update the asset management plan. And that kind of goes along with what we've said all along, is that the asset management plan, it's a roadmap, it's kind of a living document. It's to help teach us how to continually update it and perform these on our own, so we can make better decisions in the future. Okay, and with that concludes my portion. If you have any questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's our consultant again?
Black and Veatch.
Oh, Black and Veatch.
And the committee may remember that this is a tactical plan initiative for this year, and we do expect to complete the draft asset management plan by the end of this fiscal year.
Oh, very good, very good.
Does Black and Veatch have other clients that they're currently working on asset management?
They have quite a few clients that they work on with asset management, and they have performed quite a few asset management plans.
Yeah, they had some really good references from Irvine in LA, so
Oh, good.
very similar to what we were or what we're planning to do.
Very good.
Also, the committee will see when we start going through the finance that the asset management budget is going to be increasing as expected. We've talked to the full board about this, as how we invest in our infrastructure. We need to do that upfront investment for the, obviously, long-term savings.
Okay. All right. Item number 6.
That was.
Oh, that was 6. Okay. Well, all the fun is done. All right. Anything else? I guess we're going to adjourn.
Thank you. Thank you, staff, too.